everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The lion. The lion. New man on the dance, so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.
I am Sean Spencer.
And this is Let's Talk Football.
What is going on, ladies and gentlemen? We are back. I am Sean Spencer.
I'm Sydney Swinton.
And we are the Double S Express.
Let's go.
It's gonna
It's gonna catch on. It's good.
Yo, what's going on, guys? So glad you are with us. Happy Friday to you. Hope you had a good Friday and a good week. There's been a lot of news that has come out this week. But first and foremost, I do want to say we are in the month of February. So happy Black History Month to you, ladies and gentlemen. Yeah, buddy. What's going on, Ash? See you in the comments in the background. What's up? Still looking for the guy that likes you. Thinks you're the hot player.
John Blue Shoes or something, I think.
Right. What's going on, guys? What's going on? So, I'm going to send it over to you with our Black History moment this week. Mike Tomlin, your coach.
Yes, sir. Yeah. So Tomlin's awesome. There's a lot to go into, so I'm just going to give you some quick highlights on him. He started this. I didn't even realize this, and then I started kind of just getting some info from back in the day about him. He started as a college wide receivers coach at 23 years old in 95. So he started coaching at 23. I know I wasn't in the right state of mind to be able to coach people at 23, but he started it at 23 years old in 95. He coached in college, like 5 different colleges until 2000 when he got his first NFL gig. He became the Buccaneers defensive backs coach during that the 01 to 05 run, that Tampa 2 kind of defense right there. He was there, and then he became the Vikings defensive coordinator in 06. Yeah. So for 1 year, and then he got hired as the Steelers head coach right after that, and he's in 07, and obviously he's still our coach today. So 15 years strong. A couple little highlights about him. I mean, never had a losing season. That's awesome. He's the youngest coach ever to win a Super Bowl. Ooh, nice. Still standing to this day. He was 36 years old when he won it in his second season. And then he's the second longest standing coach in the league behind Belichick right now. Like second oldest, and he's only 49. He's not even like Andy Reid's older than him. Pete Carroll's older than. There's a lot of coaches that are older than him, but he's the second longest coach for the Steelers or for any organization right now.
Wow.
But yeah, those were the quick highlights. I mean, the man's been doing it for a long time.
Absolutely. And look, he's a testament to all coaches, not just because he's a Black coach, but all coaches. The culture that he has brought to Pittsburgh. It helped that he had Mr. Roethlisberger, Mr. Big Ben. That helped. But I mean, he still was able to bring that team up with a great defense. Had the quarterback play, had the running game, man, and he's consistent. Being consistent is so huge, and especially in the NFL, which, as we know, it stands for not for long.
Right.
You can't win a game.
And that's absolutely. And then a lot of things knocks on him were like he inherited a great team because Bill Cowher retired right after Super Bowl 40, and Mike Tomlin came in right after that. So 2 years later, he ended up back in the Super Bowl, won it again there. But to his credit, he went to the Super Bowl again 3 years later. I mean, that was his team at that point. We didn't win the Super Bowl, but he got a team to the Super Bowl then. And another highlight, I think, of his career is the year Ben had elbow surgery, and he had Delvin Hodges and Mason Rudolph at quarterback and still didn't have a losing season. So those are just a few highlights that it wasn't just Ben and it wasn't the team he inherited. That, I mean, he's a great coach all the way around.
He's a legitimate coach. Absolutely. One of the best. And I love that. He's the longest tenured coach under Bill Belichick right now. That's saying something. That's saying something. That you're able to stick around and do that, man. So I love that, man. And we're gonna go ahead and move on. I know you love him being your coach. It must
Oh,
be
absolutely.
nice to have a guy that's been there for 15 years.
Well, I don't have consistency at quarterback anymore. I got a new one, so I need that. I'm glad I got the coach at least.
Will this be his first losing season?
Hey, he didn't have a losing season with Mason Rudolph and Delvin Hodges. So
do you have a Delvin Hodges jersey?
I don't. I had almost bought. I went to the Steelers played the Cardinals here in Arizona that year, and Duck Hodges was the starting quarterback, and I almost bought one of the Duck like masks that everybody was wearing at the games just to go cheer on. I mean, Duck was like he started 3-0, and he was hey, winner's a winner. That's all I say.
Yeah, exactly. As long as you get that W. Look, so along the lines of talking about coaches, there have been a lot of moves that have been going on. So, Sid, we're going to go ahead and dive into it. Let's kind of talk about what's been going on. I know Jacksonville just got a coach. I know there's a lot of hardball conversation. Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Jags just hired Doug Peterson. Byron Leftwich was linked to them for a long time, but he wanted them to get the GM out and get Adrian Wilson over there, and the Jags didn't want to do that, which is surprising because there was a lot of voiced opinions that even the players didn't like him. There was a lot of issues with there, but the Jags, the owner apparently likes that GM more than he wanted Byron Leftwich as a coach, so they got Doug Peterson. Well, there's a lot of people knocking Doug Peterson because he got fired from Philly, but he won a Super Bowl. I feel like, if you've won a Super Bowl as a coach, you're probably pretty good. Not only did he win a Super Bowl, he did it with a backup quarterback and against Tom Brady. So that's, I feel like he's qualified. So that's, I think, a good hire there. He's an ex-quarterback, so it should be good for Trevor Lawrence. But yeah, they just hired him. McDaniels is at the Raiders, Nathaniel Hackett at the Broncos, Eberflus at the Bears, and Daboll at the Giants. And then there's still 4 open technically, but everybody's putting the Vikings to hire Kevin O'Connell. He's the Rams offensive coordinator, so they can't technically interview him yet because they're still in the playoffs.
So real quick on that one. So there was a lot of news this week about Harbaugh potentially going there, but then recently, to the Vikings. But then just recently, he said, he's not going to make that move. You know anything about what happened there, or?
Everything I've seen is it was almost like a leverage move for Harbaugh to get more money from Michigan. He just wanted to stay there because there was reports that he wanted to go to the Raiders and the Raiders wanted him or whatnot, but it turned out that the Raiders never wanted him. He wanted the Raiders, and so it just sounds like he was trying to leverage Michigan. There's no confirming that, but that's kind of the stories I've seen about it for sure.
Daggone Wolverines. Go green, go white.
But they got their man. Kate's happy.
They did.
Kate's happy about it.
Hey, and as long as he beat Ohio State, they'll definitely accept him. Anytime.
But like Kat said, didn't beat Michigan State, so.
Thank you. That's good points. I'll take that. But what else were you saying? Keep going.
And then, the Vikings are expected to sign Kevin O'Connell, which again is the Rams' offensive coordinator. So they can't officially do anything with him until after the Super Bowl because he's still there. And then the Saints have 2 pending interviews with Eric Bieniemy and Byron Leftwich. The favorite there is still their offensive coordinator, but they're bringing both of those guys in, so I'm curious to see if either of them land there. And then the Dolphins have 2 second interviews pending with Mike McDaniel and Kellen Moore. Mike McDaniel is the DC for the – I'm drawing a blank now. I think the Niners maybe. Or no, the Eagles. The Eagles.
Okay.
And then Kellen Moore, the offensive coordinator for the Cowboys. So they've kind of narrowed down to those 2. Most people think it's going to be McDaniel, but Kellen Moore has been invited back for a second interview. So,
interesting.
And then the Texans is the last one. They've narrowed it down to 3 finalists. All have had a second interview. It's surprisingly enough, or I'll kind of end with that one because that'll lead into the next. So there's Jonathan Gannon, Josh McCown, ex-quarterback. And then the final finalist is actually Brian Flores for the Texans job. They brought him back for a second interview, which is super surprising because of all the information coming out and news going on with him, obviously.
Yeah.
But he is he's still a finalist as of today, as of right now. He's a finalist for that Texans job.
Really?
Yeah, which is super surprising, obviously, because of what's going on with Brian Flores. So I'm not sure kind of what's going on there.
Yeah, that's quite interesting. Hey, like Dalton said, Dolphins had a coach but fired him. Speaking of this man that we're about to dive into, honestly, it is quite interesting. Let's go ahead and go get into it since you mentioned it. Yeah, he's still up for that job, and from just a coaching perspective, everybody has said nothing but good things about him. He's under the Belichick tree. He's definitely tenured guy. He's been coaching for a while.
Had success.
Yeah. I mean, a lot of players have talked about him. Like, he's one of those guys that just, helps you to believe in yourself, helps you to give you a shot. One of the stories that came out from Ninkovich, one of the guys that played for the Patriots, is that the move to put in Malcolm Butler in the Super Bowl against the Seahawks was his move. He said, I'm going with this guy. The other guy was getting burnt all up and down the field. Obviously, we know the story about Malcolm Butler, game-winning interception, giving Brady one of his mini rings.
Yep.
You know what I mean? But it's just, I didn't know that. When I heard that, I was like, oh, my goodness gracious. Are you serious? So what do you think about this? I'll talk about my.
It's kind of crazy to me that he's a finalist for the Texans job because he's essentially suing his potential employer almost.
Right.
So it's weird how it's a weird dynamic, I think, that's going on. I really didn't think he was going to get a job. Not that he didn't deserve one, but because of what he was doing. And he even alluded to it, saying, I know I'm sacrificing my career as a coach because I'm going to go ahead and move forward to this, but I think it's the right thing to do, which absolutely it is based off of what he said. And if all that's true, I mean, he should obviously it should be corrected in his favor. But it's a wild situation going on down there. I do have a question. Like, obviously, there's the issue that is going on with it being. I mean, Tomlin is the only black coach in the NFL. There's 32 teams, and 77% of players are black. So the discrepancy there is quite evident. I know the Rooney Rule obviously isn't working based off of this exact lawsuit. If you don't know, quick recap is the Giants. He was supposed to go in for a Giants interview. He was texted by Bill Belichick, thinking, according to the report, is Bill Belichick thought it was Brian Daboll, congratulating him on getting the job, and Brian Flores hadn't even interviewed yet, meaning they were just interviewing Brian Flores to appease the Rooney Rule, which is, if you don't know, you have to anytime there's a head coaching position in the NFL, you have to interview a minority head coach before you make a hire. And it's to up the diversity of the head coaching position, not just to have an interview, which is exactly what the Giants did, making it, or Bill Belichick alluded to, saying that the Giants were going to hire Daboll before Flores even had an interview. They were just bringing him in to check the box of that rule, which is obviously wrong. So I have I want to throw it out there, see what your thoughts are. What do you think is a better solution for that? Because clearly the rule, I think, was put in place for a good reason, but it's not working if that's what teams are going to do.
Right. And honestly, with every rule, there's a loophole. And when you have, bigwigs and heads of business like this, they'll find that loophole if necessary. And their excuse will be, we just want to hire the best person for the job. When in all honesty, that's not true, because Leftwich doesn't have a job. Eric Bieniemy doesn't have a job. Caldwell got fired after 1 year. And it's kind of like, and I don't jump on board with the Cole Cauley thing, because I don't think Cauley for the Texans last year I think he was just plug and play. Put somebody in there. Yeah, because there's so much going on there. And with that Watson. That's why I was okay with Flores being there, because of the Watson situation. Right. I was like, they have a connection or whatever. Personally, I beforehand it was worse. So do you need the rule? I believe so. I think to this point now, a lot of these things have happened where teams are like, we'll bring this guy and never, ever have even an inkling of a thought like, yes, we're going to hire this guy, and that stinks. That is one thing. Another part of the lawsuit, though, is that he came out that the Dolphins owner tried to pay him $100K to lose games to get a better draft pick. Now we've heard about tanking in the NFL and things of that nature, but for that to happen, because
that's bad.
And that is just, it just shows the integrity of Brian Flores, where he said, "I'm not going to do that." Right. You know what I mean? And then Fitz has come out about the Browns coach, the same
Hugh
situation,
Jackson.
Right? So
he said he got paid $50,000 to tank. Now, granted, he tanked for Baker Mayfield, which is questionable, but anyway, he still paid to tank.
He's a Heisman. I mean, the best lead man in the commercial ever, man.
Exactly. But yeah, there's so many things wrong with tanking, and like where the NFL is heading and what has been changing over the last couple of years in the NFL landscape over across America. The fact that sports gambling is becoming a thing. I mean, we're throwing it in our shows because everybody's trying to get into it. And it's like, I mean, the Caesars Sportsbook is paying $7 million for a 30-second commercial in the Super Bowl to promote their sportsbook. Like sports gambling is so massive. So if you have teams not holding up the integrity of the game and playing to win, which is, I mean, why do we play the game? We play to win. Exactly. Like that's so if you're intentionally tanking, that's just not a good look at all for the NFL. And if more people come out and say that, that's bad news all the way around.
Yeah, no, it's not good. It's absolutely not good. Now on the flip side, it has given people an opportunity, kind of similar to your coach Tomlin got the opportunity and has not looked back. And if you have situations like that where you win and win and win, they can't do anything but leave you in there and continue to get that job on top of the fact that he's a good guy. So, unfortunately, I think kind of similar to the Kaepernick situation, Brian Flores is going to be a martyr. And, I think they're going to it is shocking to hear that he still is in line for the Texans job. But let's be honest, the Texans are in dire straits. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Yeah, I mean, I'm hoping it's different. He's not the martyr because I hope more people like Hugh Jackson instantly came out and said the same thing, kind of backed those claims, and hopefully more do for at least the coaching side of it, the racial discrimination side of it, to make it so he's not alone. Because if he is the only one, then they can easily make him a martyr and say the claims are false. But the more people that get behind him, the NFL has to acknowledge it, I believe, at some point.
Yeah, I totally agree. But look, like Ash said, man, we're trying to talk solutions. We know the history. We already know what the whole situation is. And talking about the problem over and over and over is not going to solve the problem. You have to talk about how we can fix it. What are our next steps? What are some examples that we can follow? You know what I mean? Right. To get to where we want to go. So, ladies and gentlemen, if you guys have any examples or any solutions, hit us up. Put it in the chat.
Because I'm really, really curious for sure to see what, because that's just complaining that something's wrong, and then even just complaining about the Rooney Rule if it's not working. Solutions are more. If you get a good solution out there, I mean, people go viral on TikTok for dumber things. I promise. You get something out there and everybody gets behind it, and that gets blown up. I guarantee everybody starts seeing it. More people agree with it. It'll go. It's just I need. What's that one?
Yeah, honestly, probably need a new generation of owners.
That's a good one. The problem. So I've thought about this back and forth, and I'd love to have the conversation with you because I agree that new generation of owners would help a lot.
Yeah.
The problem is they own it. Like it's their own. They don't have to give it up. Now you could be forced out if you do wrong, which I think the Dolphins might be forced out, which is good. But I mean, NFL teams don't come up for sale every day. Like then when they do, it takes a lot of money to get it. So
yes.
I like that idea. Absolutely. But I don't know how else to get that going besides paying a lot of money, buying them out, which is billions of dollars. So
right now that Denver spot is available, so there is position to do that. But I agree. That was Dalton who said that. Kyle said maybe it doesn't go to GMs, maybe it goes to the board where the head coach is voted in. having a fair representation, given equal basis on history and work. There you go. There you go. But that's what's up. Let's continue to have these conversations so we can start to get this. I said last night, if crossover people like Magic Johnson and Michael Jordan show how to create ownership, it can start some good talk. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Look, right there. That's 3 separate, at least attempts at a solution. And at this day and age, instead of arguing about what we know, let's get to that place where we can say, hey, how can we change this? How can we make it better for the next generation that's going to come after us, that's going to love this game as much as we do?
Yeah, absolutely.
What's good, fellas? Been watching for a minute, trying to fix the door on the dryer. Well, we don't have a solution for that. So, but we have got. Oh, you want to say more thing?
No, I was just a little tidbit on the owner thing, which the Denver job is. I think ownership is going to go into more like investment groups, which is kind of what's going on with the Denver job, which could very well be good things because it's not just one owner being like the guy. Like Peyton Manning's involved in 2 different investment groups trying to buy the Broncos. So that just means there's a group of people that will own it, and you're not just fighting that one guy that doesn't like or doesn't want to follow the rules and do it the wrong way type thing. Yeah. Kyle said, I think Raheem Morris can make a case too. Should have been head coach some time ago. I agree. He's had many chances at interim coach, I believe. Wasn't he interim coach for you guys for a little bit in the Falcons, Kyle? So I know he was at Tampa Bay for a little bit. So could be. We shall see. And this is a great conversation to have, and I definitely think we should continue this conversation at a later day to try to figure out what we can do for sure
to fix the issue.
Yeah, it's not going to happen overnight. The conversation is what will make change, though, for sure. So
exactly. So we're going to move on to our next segment called In Case You Missed It. Ladies and gentlemen, this is not the only show in the Let's Talk Football community. We have 5, I believe. 1, 2, 5, maybe 6. Some affiliates, it's up there. We have a lot, ladies and gentlemen. We have a lot, and it starts on Mondays with Let's Talk Football, Monday night, 6:30. Myself, Janae Struther, and just in case you didn't catch it, here's a little of what you missed.
One of the biggest underdogs in this whole thing, Joey B and the Bengals come back from behind to beat the Kansas City Chiefs 27-24.
Woo! Come on. Woo! That's when you thought. That's a cigar. That's when you thought you was going to count the Bengals out. Did they not pull it together, Sean? The second half, did they not just pull it together?
Yo, when it started 21-3, I'm not going to lie. I was sitting here like, well, that's the Chiefs for you. There you go. But, yo, them Bengals, man, never say die, man.
They pushed. That defense started to show up when they needed to show up. Come on, man. Yes. Shout out to Joey B. Man. Oh, man, what a great game, Sean.
I loved it. I absolutely loved it. But like you said, that D came up big, and it came up at the right time.
Yes, sir. So that's me and my partner, Miss Janae Struther. And this week, actually, Sid, I talked to you about it. I'm going to have you on the show and maybe a couple other people because it's Super Bowl week, ladies and gentlemen. And we are going to try to give some clips, some highlights, maybe a little trivia on the Super Bowl. I know you're excited about the Steelers clips I got for you, man.
Absolutely.
Yes, sir. And so let's go ahead and move on to the Tuesday night show. And Sid, you want to take this one?
Yeah, that one's the roundtable with hosts Delilah and Big Nick. And then I think Anthony jumps in, Big Nate jumps in. They have guests all the time on that one too. That one's a great show. They just kind of talk about what's going on. The name is very suiting for what the show is. It's kind of the roundtable, everybody talking about football, which you can never go wrong with.
Yeah, absolutely, man. And just in case you missed it, here is a clip from that show.
Yeah. It's the end of the show, yay! No, I'm just playing.
And of course, as you know, at the end of the show, one last word. Yeah, buddy. Yeah, thank you for that.
Thank you for that, Anthony.
The assist.
The assist with it. Yo, we do our thing. One last word. We give you one last thing that's on our minds for that week. But like you said, there's also diversity with Delilah. There's also Nick's picks where we talk about, the parlays and a little bit of the gambling and just, recap what games have been going on and what's going on in the NFL. So that's a pretty nice one. Pretty nice one. We move on to Wednesday nights with the aforementioned Anthony Handy. It's This Week in SEC, where they dive into everything going on in the Southeastern Conference. Anthony and his co-host Colin P, that's what we're gonna call him, they are diehard Georgia fans, so they are absolutely in heaven right now that their Georgia Bulldogs, after at least 41 years, finally got over the hump and got that national championship. Shout out to them, man. We'll see what happens, see if they repeat this coming year. But one of my personal favorite shows is also that night, Washington Football Weekly, where we talked about the team name. And I don't know how I feel about it, but here's what we said.
Take command of it. Just take command.
Jason Wright went on a couple of different interviews, and he once again said, he's like, well, there's lyrics in the fight song that we could use. Hail Victory and Fight for Old DC. He goes, we can use that stuff. So they said, are you going to rewrite it? Or would you say you're doing something new? He's like, I think we're rewriting it. So I'm going to tell you this, Sean. I don't care if the name's Commanders.
Yeah.
If I get a chance to sing with my sons of Washington, rah, rah, rah. I just got goosebumps right now.
Let's go.
I'm good with Commanders. I don't care. They already came out and changed the hashtag to HTTC.
Yeah.
So some of the things that we as dorky 30-some-year-old fans say, like, I need the fight song. I need the hashtag. I need this stuff. This is going to bring. If we are singing Hail to the Commanders and you change the lyrics I'm good. Yeah. So obviously we kind of are okay with it. It's not the Redskins.
It'll stick.
It'll stick. It's not the football team. But
exactly.
I have to be honest. I didn't think we could get a name where we'd be made fun of more than the football team.
It's been rough so far. It's been rough. But hey, it was rough when the football team came out. And then you guys embraced it. And a couple years later, only the Cowboys fans were making fun of you.
Right. and that's the thing. Winning cures all. If we win, if we put a good product on the field, they will not think about it being football team, Commanders, whatever. Like you said, the football team beat Dallas. They swept them 2 in a row. How you like that, Ash? Yo, speaking of Ash, you want to take this next show?
Yeah, absolutely. The best show of the week, the Let's Talk Football Ladies Takeover. It's on Thursdays. It's the hosts are Delilah, Kate, Janae, and my lovely wife, Ash. They go ahead and go over everything that's going on in the NFL. Then they have their own little segments. They do their hot player, who they think is hot physically and on the field. And then they do – just kidding. They do it as just who's on the field. And then they also do their cause of the week, which I think is one of the greatest segments that all of Let's Talk Football does. They highlight a cause that's going on in the NFL by somebody that's in the NFL currently or a previous player. I think I remember last week's was, I think, Dan Marino. I think is what it was. I didn't catch this week's. Who it was
the Dan Marino Foundation, for a couple.
Right, and so they do that all the time. And then they give the ladies have the last say, where ladies always have the last say, so it's perfect fitting. And it's just a great show all the way around. All girls, all women that know the game of football and know what they're talking about. So it's a great one to watch every week.
Absolutely. And speaking of ladies have the final say.
Hey, ladies have the final say. Man, this is a portion where we get to talk about just whatever we feel like talking about, because we feel it's important that whatever we want to get off our chest, just like you ladies, if you guys want to say something, say it. Don't let anybody tell you that you can't say what you want to say, because ladies, we have the final say today. So let's go ahead and do it. Delilah, what is your ladies have the final say?
My final is to not give up and just try your best to persevere through whatever you want to reach, right? Whatever goal, whether it's short goal, long goal, whatever, just perseverance is key. And I know it's hard. Sometimes you want to give up, sometimes you want to lay down, and and sometimes it's okay to shut down, by the way. I don't mean like literally, but like sometimes you need to you know what I mean? Go into your room and, be in your happy place. And
Yeah, buddy. That was lovely, Delilah Crespo. And if you also noticed, they had a guest host yesterday, my darling wife, Miss Catherine Hughes, fiance wife.
I was like, you said wife. That was
Yes.
I missed something.
It's on tape, right? It's recorded. Oh my god. So yeah, no, definitely. It's a great show. Like you said, great topics. They hit causes. They hit the games. They talked about everything, and absolutely loved it. Yes, Ash, I think Kat did kill it, but your spot is safe. They missed you and shouted you out a couple times. But shout out to Ash, who had parent-teacher conferences.
Yep.
I would like to see how she talked to them.
She does not sound the same. That's just
Let's go. So we also have Let's Talk Football Sunday. Myself, Nicholas Rosario, the youngest reporter in the game, and actually said I have to show you. He actually is in his journalism class at school, and he's actually written a couple like reports about the Wizards and like the NBA, and he goes into detail, man. It looks really professional, man.
That's awesome.
So I definitely got to show that. He's doing big things. But another member that's on that is also on this next show. Our guy, Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, which is Tuesdays and Fridays. He will be going on tonight. And as a matter of fact, ladies and gentlemen, I have a special guest for you right now. Nathan.
Yeah.
What's going on, buddy? What's going on? What you got planned for tonight?
What's up, fellas? Hope y'all's work week. Hope y'all's day was great. Let's see what's on the market for tonight. Well, there's no football this week, so we're gonna do a season review for the Ravens and the Washington football team. Ravens our GM had a end of the season press conference, talked about some things I thought was not telling, but I liked where he's going as far as the off season. Let's see, with Major League Baseball, there's really no progress at all with that. College basketball, the Maryland Terrapins, the men lost to Michigan State, but the women beat Michigan State. WNBA free agency, the Wizards beat the Sixers the other night.
Yeah, hey,
by a bucket. With this new league I've been telling people about is Athletes Unlimited. They're in Vegas. It's really, really good. They're in week 2. So yeah, I mean that's really what's on the show for tonight.
Hey, Nathan, somebody, Ash has a question. She said, you should talk about the Mercury.
The WNBA is rigged. Congratulations.
We'll let Nate talk about it on his show, but it's he like the WNBA, the Phoenix Mercury, where me and my wife Ash live, are making moves, and it's been fun to watch.
It's definitely been fun to watch. This is only the first week, so
yeah. I didn't know WNBA teams had super teams, but according to Nathan, they do.
Phoenix does.
Yeah. Now Phoenix.
Yeah. Oh, I love it. Yo, what? Tell the guys what time you're going to be on.
10:30.
Okay, perfect.
So 10:30 every Tuesday, every Friday. There may be like some difficulties where I may start a little late, but my goal is to start at 10:30. This will be, I got a couple more episodes before I end season 5. I have a new segment on the podcast. It's called Unsung Heroes, African-American Unsung Heroes in Sports, where I highlight a African-American athlete that may not have gotten the same media coverage or recognition by the media. For example, I just touched on the first African-American woman who got drafted by the New Orleans Jazz, and it was Lucia Harris. She just passed away not too long ago. She did not fulfill her dream to get drafted by the Jazz. So that's the first segment I covered. Tuesday's episode, and tonight's episode, Larry Doty. So
okay. I can't wait to see that, man. Yo, appreciate it, guys. Tune in. Nate, tell everybody your YouTube page, your channel.
Yes, my YouTube channel is One Nathan Snell. Definitely check me out. Great content. You're not going to miss it. I have these wonderful guys, and I'm trying to get some of the ladies on the show. So I'm not going to count them out. So I'm trying to work something out. Trying to be my agent. Try to meet their agents. So definitely.
Yeah. Hey Nate, have your people call my people. All right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Absolutely.
Yes, sir. Yo, so check my guy out, Nathan, tonight, 10:30. One Nathan. Oh, wait a minute. Katie said anytime. There you go.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
So yeah, One Nathan Snell. Big Nate Sports Talk Podcast, Tuesdays and Fridays, 10:30. They come on after Tuesdays after the roundtable, and tonight, obviously, you're at work, right?
No, I'm home. I'm
okay.
Currently I'm currently just prepping for the show.
Gotcha.
So that way it's ahead of time.
Right. Hey, tune in, ladies and gentlemen, because he has good stuff, very detailed, hits so many different sports and topics. It is good stuff. And you'll be up watching and you'll just be into the conversation and everything. He does great, man. So, hey, appreciate you coming on, Nate.
I appreciate y'all for inviting me on the show. I appreciate that.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Peace, buddy.
Peace.
Yeah, buddy. So definitely have that and definitely tune in. But we are coming close to the end of the show, and we're going to finish it the way we finished it last week with the best thing I heard this week. Sid, what you got for me, man?
Best thing I heard this week, I'm going to keep it lighthearted because there was some crazy news that went on. So my man, Najee Harris and Deontay Johnson made the Pro Bowl as alternates because Jamar Chase and Joe Mixon are in the Super Bowl. So, yeah. But hey, Najee got in. Najee is having a blast down there. Just his interviews, he's like a little kid. He's just a big kid playing sports, and that's the kind of, everybody's dream. So the best thing I heard was, Najee making the Pro Bowl because you could tell it meant a lot to him, and he's loving every second of it.
I can dig it. Shout out to Najee. Now that the fantasy football season's over, I can shout him out again.
Get him next year.
Right. If you don't know, he was the reason why I lost the fantasy football championship to this man's lovely wife, Miss Ash Swinton. The best thing I heard this week, I'm gonna keep it home. The Washington Commanders. A lot of people are making jokes about it. A lot of people are talking this and that. I'm glad that we finally, after all the years of the whole no longer the Redskins, then the football team and all that, we have a name. We can just say, go from here. Okay? We don't have to worry about it. Some of the jerseys, the burgundy jersey I like. The other jerseys, like I was talking to you about it, the red jersey looks kind of like Arizona State. Or Arizona.
It does. Matches pretty well, I think.
And then our black jerseys look like the Steelers jerseys.
They do. And that one's weird. It's got like the W on the front.
Right. Oh, God.
Yeah, it's different.
Yes. So tune into Washington Football Weekly on Wednesday nights because we definitely go into detail on our reaction of what we thought about it. But wait a minute. You know what, Ash, you're banned. I cannot. I hope you keep McCarthy and Kellen Moore. All right, both of them. How you like that? And Jerry stays alive for like 20 more years. Wow. Cause you ain't get okay. We're done. We're done with that. Yo,
you can cut her off.
Yeah, you're done. Yo, so hey, look, we are about out of time. We appreciate you being with us and joining us for Let's Talk Football Presents. We hope that you join us next week. You see my guy over here, Mr. Sidney Swinton. You know the name, Sean Spencer, man. We appreciate you, and we will definitely talk to you next week. Have a good week. Oh, one more thing I wanted to say. Tomorrow, not sure what time you guys doing the
That's the tough part. See,
okay.
All right. So me and Ash are gonna host our own little just quick one-time show for the Pro Bowl, just kind of highlighting who's in it, who's not, and kind of what's going on there. The issue is we have a 1-year-old, so we kind of work around his schedule. Yeah. So The time is TBD, but sometime tomorrow me and Ash will hop on. We'll send the link and give you a quick preview of the Pro Bowl that's going on Sunday.
Yeah, buddy. I am excited. I am excited for all the new things that we are about to bring out. Also, we were talking about Let's Talk Football, the debate show. Looks like we did that outside of it, but we'll we'll bring that up a little bit later. We'll definitely get into that. There's a lot of things on the agenda, but stay tuned, ladies and gentlemen, because this is going to be something fun. So we are out. We'll see y'all later. Appreciate you watching. Deuces.
Hello, everybody.
Hey, what's going on, guys?
I am Janae Strother.
I'm Sean Spencer.
Back.
We are back.
We are back, ladies and gentlemen.
I gotta go out and hold up.
Come on. The line. The line. New man so fine. Kirk Cousins.
All right. I am Janae Strother.